Good Monday, everyone, and welcome to this edition of Conversation Daily News. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. Well, it's a brand new day, it's a brand new week, and it's a brand new opportunity for you to do something amazing, and it all begins today. But of course, you have your news headlines coming up on this Monday, but a message from my book, Words I Choose to Live By, and in today's Entertainment Spotlight, you'll be part of my conversation with Academy Award-winning actress Geena Davis. Enjoy today's broadcast. For Conversation Daily News, I'm Cyrus Webb with your Monday headlines. In international news, Zelensky's Father's Day post spotlights family ties amid war. One photograph shows a kneeling soldier kissing a child inside a subway station where Ukraine families shelter from Russian airstrikes. In another, an infant and a woman who appear on the brink of tears look out from a departing train car as a man peers inside, his hands spread across the window in a gesture of goodbye. In an uplifting Father's Day message Sunday, the Ukrainian President Zelensky posted 10 photos of parents and children set against a grim backdrop of war, praising fathers who protect and defend the most precious. There are scenes of childbirth, as a man and woman look toward a swaddled baby in what appears to be a hospital room where the walls show scars of fighting. In another, a man lifts a child over a fence toward a woman with outstretched arms on a train platform. Being a father is a great responsibility and a great happiness, Zelensky wrote in English text that followed the Ukrainian on Instagram. It is strength, wisdom, motivation to go forward and not to give up. He urged his nation's fighters to endure for the future of your family, your children, and therefore the whole of Ukraine. His message came as 4 months of war in Ukraine appear to be straining the morale of troops on both sides, prompting desertions and rebellion against officers' orders. NATO's chief warned the fighting could drag on for years. In national news, January 6th committee setting its sights on Pence and Geena Thomas. Members of the House committee investigating the Capitol riots said Sunday they may subpoena former Vice President Mike Pence and are waiting to hear from Virginia Geena Thomas, the wife of Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas, about her role in the illegal plot to overturn the 2020 election. Lawmakers indicated they will release more evidence about Donald Trump's alleged effort to defraud supporters by fundraising off false claims of a stolen presidential election. They also pledged to provide pertinent material to the Justice Department by the end of the month for its criminal investigation. The department complained in a letter last week that the committee was complicating its investigation by not sharing transcripts from its 1,000 interviews. We're not taking anything off the table in terms of witnesses who have not yet testified, said Representative Adam Schiff, who described Pence's subpoena as certainly a possibility. The committee has been able to document most of the Trump end of his call to Pence on the morning of the insurrection on January 6, 2021, when the then president made his final plea for Pence to stop the certification of Joe Biden's victory when Pence presided over the Electoral College count in Congress. Members have not yet documented directly what Pence said in response. In business news, Yellen says recession is not inevitable, gas tax holiday weighed. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen said Sunday that she expects the U.S. economy to slow in the months ahead, but that a recession is not inevitable. Yellen offered a dose of optimism even as economists grow increasingly worried about a recession fueled by skyrocketing inflation and the Russian invasion of Ukraine. She also expressed an openness during an interview on ABC's This Week to a federal gas tax holiday to help give motorists some relief at the pump. Several lawmakers have floated the idea as the average price of gasoline hovers around $5 per gallon. The tax is 18.4 cents per gallon. In entertainment news, Al Sharpton takes a bow with Spike to close out Tribeca. On the eve of Juneteenth, the Tribeca Festival came to a close with Al Sharpton documentary Loudmouth in a premiere that united on stage Sharpton and Spike Lee, two towering New York figures who have both been vilified and celebrated for careers championing racial justice. The event, held Saturday at the Borough of Manhattan Community College, celebrated Sharpton with the kind of big-screen portrait that has been commonplace for an older generation of civil rights leaders, but had until Loudmouth alluded to 67-year-old activists. Loudmouth contextualizes Sharpton's legacy as an extension of Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X, Jesse Jackson, John Lewis, and others, while at the same time chronicling his unique longevity despite plenty of naysayers along the way. And finally, more entertainment news. Lightyear stays earthbound. Jurassic World holds #1. Lightyear did not go to infinity in its first weekend in theaters, says the Associated Press. Pixar's first major theatrical release since March 2020, blasted off with $51 million in its debut weekend in North America, according to studio estimates on Sunday. That made the top 5 movies over the weekend. Number 1, Jurassic World Dominion with $59 million. Number 2, Lightyear with $51 million. Number 3, Top Gun Maverick with $44 million. Number 4, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness with $4 million. And number 5, The Bob's Burger Movie with $1 million. Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. It's now time for a message from my book, Words I Choose to Live By. Enjoy. I'm Cyrus Webb, and welcome to Monday's episode of Words I Choose to Live By. Being thankful doesn't mean that everything is going to go just right, but it does mean that you have the right attitude about what happens in your life. If you remain focused and keep your head up, in spite of the challenges and difficulties, you'll come out of the storm stronger and more equipped for whatever comes your way in the future. Have an amazing Monday. Geena Davis is featured in today's Entertainment Spotlight. We're here on Conversation Daily News. For Conversation Daily News, I'm Cyrus Webb with Entertainment Spotlight. Academy Award-winning actress and co-founder of the Bentonville Film Festival, Geena Davis, joined me on Conversations Live, the radio show, to talk about her success and the success of the film festival. Here's a bit of our conversation.
I want to begin, though, by talking about your career. As I mentioned, you've had such an extraordinary journey, both for television and film. What has it been like for you to not only do work that you love, but also to know you're inspiring people along the way?
Well, I mean, that's a side benefit that I didn't anticipate, would be part of it. But I happened to be in some movies that had an impact, like League of Their Own. A lot of people said, "Oh, I took up sports because of that movie," and so it's been very exciting and gratifying. And I had no idea movies that I was in were going to last so long and be still, cultural touch points 30 years later. So it's remarkable.
Well, you mentioned A League of Their Own. Of course, one of my favorites was Commander-in-Chief. I remember when that literally premiered and how excited I was about that, because I think, for one thing, Ms. Davis, it reminded women of what was possible and what could be possible. And that is a great tie-in to what you've been able to do with the Bentonville Film Festival. As I mentioned, you're celebrating the 8th annual event this year. What has that been like for you to be able to not only to champion women, but also to remind individuals that their voices matter?
Oh, it's just been fantastic. It's worked beyond our dreams from the beginning, because the whole point has been to, as you say, champion underrepresented storytellers, and we look at both on screen and off screen, and we really go after this mission that we have. It's very, very important to us.
Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. We thank you all for tuning into this edition of Conversations Daily News, but we'll have to get on tomorrow's more news, a message from my book, Words I Choose to Live By, and of course your Entertainment Spotlight. Until then, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Daily News today. Let's make today amazing. Take care.